Hey everybody, it's Curtis Cunningham with United Country Wagner Auctioneering and Real Estate, and thank you for tuning in to the latest in this video series covering the home buying process. And as a reminder, in this series my goal is to serve you guys by teaching you the ins and outs, the strategies, and overall know-how how to purchase your dream home for the lowest price possible. So today we are going to be discussing pre-approval. So now we're in the financing portion of things. You know, what is a pre-approval? What do I have to do to get a pre-approval? Why is it important? Things like that. So really this step, if you will, should run in tandem with finding your agent and kind of having that consultation of what you're looking for in a home. A lot of people put the cart before the horse a little bit, and they say, hey, want to go out, look at some homes, and then if we really find one that we really like, then we'll go ahead and get pre-approved. Well, I'll tell you, you're already behind the 8 ball on that one, especially in this market. So let's back up a little bit. So what is it? What is a pre-approval? So that's basically a bank or a lender saying that you as a buyer, for the most part, look to be loan worthy. They're going to collect different information, and on the front end for a pre-approval it won't be so intensive, but for your actual loan application they're going to need a lot of different things. And I could provide a list, but for every person it's kind of different depending on your job situation, your debt situation, things like that, familial status. And so I can give you kind of an overview, but it's really going to be tailored to your specific situation on what documentation they may need. But most everybody in the lending field has you know, an app or a website you can do this through. If you want to do it in person, most everybody, I believe, is taking appointments to do that. I don't think you can walk into a lot of places right now, but if you give them a day at a time and you can be there, most people are still having in-person appointments. But you know, like what I previously said, they're going to want to know your job situation, how much you make, your debt situation, what do you owe and what type of debt that is, social security numbers, because they're going to check your credit, obviously, to see if you're credit worthy, and we'll talk about that later as far as what that actually means and scores and things like that. But you know, from that meeting, from that preliminary application, you should get a handle not only on purchase price, so how much you can afford to purchase, but probably like your rate, the rate that they can give you, because that fluctuates on a daily basis, and it will fluctuate depending on your financial history as well. Possible down payments needed, the loan program that may be the best for you. Again, we'll go over loan programs in another video, and then closing costs. And closing costs can vary quite a bit too. So there's a lot of discussion and things to dissect in there, but that kind of gives you the overview of what you'll be finding in a pre-approval. So after that, they provide me and you a letter. It says, you know, we are pre-approving these buyers to purchase a house up to this much, and that will need to be provided to a seller once you submit your offer. So basically you're proving to the seller, I've done my homework, I'm ready to go, and I can purchase your home up to a certain amount. And so I had also mentioned previously about kind of the market we are in these days, and you know, the supply is down, demand is up, and so a lot of properties are seeing multiple offers at the same time. If you submit an offer and don't submit the pre-approval, or if you want me to say, hey, sellers or other agent, we're not pre-approved yet, we think we can get lending on the home, they really don't put much stock into that offer. So even if it's a higher amount than everybody, if you haven't proven that you can purchase a home, they're really not going to look at it. And you know, I can turn the tables around on you to say, okay, would you consider an offer where they say, ah, yeah, we're good for it, don't worry about it? Probably not. And so you do have some due diligence on your part to prove that you would be able to continue and complete the transaction. So There have been times where, as a listing agent, we have gotten offers without pre-approvals that they were just rather sure of themselves that they could get financed, and we made it a condition of the contract. Hey, yeah, this offer is great if you can get financed, if we can get that pre-approval within 2 days. Lo and behold, they couldn't, and so that kind of wasted everybody's time if you haven't done the necessary steps on the front end. So where can you get a pre-approval? I always encourage people to stay local. If you're banking with somebody local, not a bad place to start there to see what products and options they have. There are other companies around that can do that as well. What I will warn against is getting pre-approvals from like a sole online source. Maybe some of the big national companies that don't have a local branch or something like that. Just in my 10 years of doing this, if we get a pre-approval from them, we highly question those pre-approvals, because if you're looking at a percentage basis, a lot of those don't close because they didn't do their work on the front end to really qualify you to purchase a home. So you see a lot of commercials for the big ones, or Super Bowl ads, things like that. But what we found, it proves to be very difficult to be successful in getting you to the closing table. And it basically comes down to communication. So your loan officer that picks up that online form that you have submitted or whatever, they could be out of Arlington, Texas. Okay, not such a bad deal. They're only an hour or two behind depending on the season, but the problem is they're the loan officer. Their underwriter may be in Anaheim, and their kind of transactional broker that helps people through the transaction may be in Florida, and there may be somebody else in the transaction that may be in Ohio. So finding the right person to talk to is extremely difficult. Across different time zones can be difficult. So what I kind of encourage my clients to do is to shop around a little bit. That's not such a bad thing. And hopefully settle on somebody local, because if we have a problem, some of the local resources, I have their cell phone number. I can call, I can text, and then if we need to, I can go knock on their office door and say, hey, we need to discuss this, and we need an answer really quickly. So, and the local sources are happy to do that. Just like me, they work solely by referral, so they need to do a good job in the community, obviously, and to then better build their business later on. So with a lot of things I do and purchase, I like to try to stay local as possible. And so again, that's what I encourage you to do as a home buyer. Another situation may come up is that you make that contact with a lender or two, and they say, you know what, because of this, because of that, no, we can't issue a pre-approval for the amount that you want or at all. Take heart. That's not like a decision on their part that will last the next 10 years. So a good loan officer is say, look, we can't qualify you today. And it's because of this thing right here, credit, something on your credit, something, the way you get paid or report earnings, something like that. A good one is going to show you and tell you how to get past that. So if it's this credit ding that you have, and that could be from a late payment, no payment, whatever, they can give you a timeline on when that might fall off the credit history. They can say, if you do these 3 things, we think we can raise your score by X amount, and then you can qualify. So that's what a good loan officer is going to do. And again, you're going to be in that relationship with them just like your agent for the next 30 to 60 days, kind of depending on, again, the loan type or whatever. And so you really need to find somebody that you communicate well with, and that will do a good job and has your best interest at heart. So that's about it. That's all I have on pre-approval. Just let's recap real quick. Super important. It's going to be one of the #1 things you're going to need to do before you start looking at homes, and it's really going to be in your best interest to do that. So we'll go over a loan types and specific qualifications, things like that, on a later video, but I do appreciate you guys watching. So if you found this video useful, if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and hit the like button, comment below, and we will see you next time. Thanks.